Actions speak louder than words. What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. The reason why I'm starting today's video off with such a common phrase is because Call of Duty released this massive community update. A community update where they finally addressed some of the game's and franchise's biggest flaws. The flaws that we've been talking about here on this channel, and the flaws that have been permeating throughout the entire community as of late. It was a nice change of pace. They were actually being transparent. So shouldn't we all be happy? Shouldn't this be the mark of a positive step forward for the franchise? Well, unfortunately, it's not. As great as these words are, they fall on deaf ears. Because these words are hollow. These words don't mean anything until they turn into tangible results. And that's why I started this video off by saying actions speak louder than words. Call of Duty can say whatever they want. They can come on here and say they're going to make the game as great as it possibly can be. But until we see those results, until we see those actions, I'm not going to trust them. They've lost that trust. And it's been eroding for years. Because this isn't the first time that they've come out in the middle of January and said, guys, we know the game isn't in a great state. But trust us, we're going to improve it. This from January 13th, 2022. A message to our community. We wanted to take a minute to talk about fixing the game. We hear you and we feel your frustrations. Our teams are hard at work at addressing issues that are being experienced across Vanguard, Warzone, and Modern Warfare. Updates are being deployed as quickly as possible. We want everyone to have a seamless experience, no matter which game, game mode, or platform you play on. Your feedback is a critical part of our development process to make our games the best they can be. That was 2022. I ask you, do you feel like our frustrations have been mitigated? Have they been resolved? Is the game in a better state today than it was in 2022? I would argue it's not. Yeah, the base game itself, Black Ops 6, is far better than Call of Duty Vanguard, but I don't feel as if the experience that Call of Duty is providing has improved. But it's not just Call of Duty Vanguard that released this statement. They did it again a year later in 2023. Season 2 will be launching on February 15th. Our studio teams have been making several changes based on what we have heard from our player community. Season 2 includes all new content, with the return of Resurgence, a new small map for ranked play for Warzone, and new multiplayer maps, new modes, and weapons. Stay tuned for additional intel. This feels like they're just doing the same damage control they always do. And the only reason why we didn't get one last year for MW3 was because that game wasn't popular to begin with. We're getting this as a reactive statement to the fact that they've lost 55% of their players on Steam. And probably numbers like those across the board, because people are tired of dealing with the nonsense that this franchise is delivering. And this is why actions matter. Because these words ring hollow to this community. You can say you're making these improvements, and until we see them, nothing matters to us. Make us care about the game. Show us that you care. Show us that you want our time. Because I'll guarantee you this, you make improvements to the game like you say you're going to, I'm going to play so much Black Ops 6 it's not even funny. Because that game has good elements. There's a fun game in there, but it's all of your BS that you've been neglecting that completely erodes the experience. So please, I beg of you, follow through this time. Make your words align with your actions. Make the results align with your words. That's all I'm asking for, and I don't think that's too much. But that's not been the case. That's not your track record. We've seen it time and time again. So I hope this time is different, but unfortunately, this feels more like an X saying they're going to change, and they're not. They're going to tell you everything you want to hear, and nothing's going to be different. Yeah, maybe they might do one thing differently that wins you back. You know, for some people, it might be the quality of life fix that they turn off crossplay for ranked play. Ooh, wowee. That doesn't affect me. Great for those who are going to play crossplay and be affected by it and have an improved experience. That's great. That's fantastic. It doesn't affect me because I'm a PC player to begin with anyways. So what I really want to see here is improvements to the anti-cheat, improvements to the servers, and just the quality of life improvements that they've been talking about. Follow through with that. Because what they've done here is sold a lot of hope. And unfortunately, I'm not in the business of buying hope from Call of Duty anymore. Maybe some of you will be manipulated by this. You'll buy into the hope, believing that this time will be different. But if history tells us anything, it's clear that nothing's going to be resolved. That all of this hope is going to be meaningless because the game's not going to improve at all. I mean, look at the anti-cheat results. They've been trying to fix anti-cheat for the last 3 years, and they still have 136,000 accounts that they had to ban since ranked play was first introduced. That's insane. That's embarrassing. First of all, embarrassing that many people cheat, but also embarrassing for Call of Duty to have that big of a cheater problem. But this is where we're at. This is the situation at hand. This is exactly what Call of Duty has done for themselves. Now, I want to finish this video off by talking about what's happening with Season 2 of Black Ops 6. Because buried in this community update was the fact that they are going to be holding back some content for Season 2. They're going to be postponing it. And honestly, I don't really care. Because as bad as the maps are in this game, I'm not really concerned about the content that's in Black Ops 6. I'm concerned about the experience of Black Ops 6. That should be the focus here. And that seems to be what they are focusing on. Because if they make these improvements and you add more content, holy smokes, you have a great game here. You have a fantastic game. But you should not sacrifice strides to make improvements to the overall experience to just pump out content because you need to. And I know there's going to be people in this community that throw their arms up in the air and get all mad because they're postponing content that's already ready. What would you rather have? Content that's thrown out and the game continues to suck, or the game actually improves and you have a little bit less content for now? That's like the best case scenario. This isn't Call of Duty. They never live within best case scenario. So what's probably going to happen is they're going to release Season 2, break the game, have to work backwards to be able to figure out how they broke it, not have any new content to fall back on, and it's going to be a complete disaster. But anything can happen. They could actually knock this out of the park. And I'll be the first one to come on here and say, guys, they did it. The game's so much better. And that's what I want to do. I've been saying that for years. I am rooting for Call of Duty. I want them to get this right because all of us benefit. All of us can experience a much better game as a result. So they've got to stop shooting themselves in the foot here. They've got to actually implement these changes. They've got to let their actions align with their words for once. Because if the results are there, players are going to care. And instead of seeing Steam charts in all red, you'll see Steam charts in the green. You'll see players coming back and staying because you've made tangible changes. You've made the game better. I look at XDefiant, which you're seeing on screen right now. The game was in a sad state for most of its existence, but now it's in one of the most stable states I've ever seen it in. There's some BS here and there, and that's always going to happen. But at its core, it's extremely fun. And that's what I keep saying. I want Call of Duty to be fun again. So please, Call of Duty, don't let these words fall on deaf ears. Don't let these words just be hollow promises that are broken 6 months down the road. That's not what you need right now. Follow through for once. Make this game what it deserves to be, which is one of the best Call of Duties we've had in recent memory. That can be the legacy left behind by Black Ops 6. We can throw the last few months in the dumpster and say, you know what? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And if you can finish off with the next 9 months being some of the best Call of Duty we've experienced, I think that's okay. I think that's exactly where we need to be, especially moving into COD 2025, which poises itself to be a sequel to Black Ops 2, which is something that we all want. So those are my thoughts on this massive community update. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, leave a comment down below if you have anything to say on this topic. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.